What is a resume? It's an ad. About who? Huh? It's your ad. You getting it? It's your ad, your own. Resume is an ad. You're actually advertising yourself on a piece of paper so that somebody will buy it. Right? Somebody will hire you. That's what it is. How long are the ads? 30 minutes? 15 minutes? Ads, you watch on TV ads, right? 5 second, 10 second, 20 second, right? There are maybe 1 minute ads, very rarely, because it costs also a lot of money, right? So ads is like 15 seconds, message is passed on, I look at it, I said, yes, I want to buy this, or I don't want to buy this, or I will buy it some other time, but I know about a brand. That's how ad works. Exactly how your CV works. So if you have a 1-page CV, 2-page CV, first instance, nobody reads it. When you look at a CV, first instance, they look for your positives in a CV. What is so great in your CV? So if you are writing a CV, and if you have done well in your college, and if you have done well in your school, you were part of programs, you were part of some voluntary organization, there are aspects of you wherein you have shown leadership, there is some course that you have done, right, other than the graduation. Highlight that piece, because if you can highlight that in your resume, the chances of they calling for an interview becomes very high. Right? So have a simple 1-page CV, talks about you, talks about your achievements. And when you say achievements, you need to quantify your achievements. So suppose you are a great sports player. What kind of sports you played? Who did you represent? It could be a college, it could be a district, it could be at a national level, it could be anything. If you have done a course, what is the course that you have done? A little bit more details, right? If you really ask me for you, it's a very, very simple process. It's not too complicated. You know what you have done, you have your graduation or whatever things that you are doing your course with, and then you put that in. It's very simple. As you start working and start moving up the ladder is when it gets a little complicated. And you need to really know how to summarize and things like that. For you, it's a very straightforward process. But it's important for you to have one. Yes? Correct? And it is important for you to know exactly what you have written in the resume also. What do we do usually? You have a resume, I'll copy, paste. Yes, no? Simple, why you want to spend time? So we'll do a copy paste and make one resume. But what happens with that is you actually don't know what's written in there. So somebody asks you, okay, so you are good at this. So look at me and say, huh? You mentioned here you are good at this particular aspect. I have mentioned. I said yes. You have only mentioned. This is your CV, no? Yeah. Where? Show me. So I'll show him this. Oh, no. That was actually my friend's CV. I just copy pasted. It happens all the time. All the time. Because you don't know. So you need to know every word of your CV. Every word. Every word that you have written. So it's important. If you want to do a copy paste, just thoroughly look at it. And things that are not required, take it out. Right? If you want to still do that. But otherwise, yours should be a straightforward CV. Go next. Short bullets. When I say short bullets, don't write a story about 6-7 sentences about yourself. Bullets. 6-7 words in a sentence. That's it. It's an ad. It is a Ad. So it should look like an ad. Right? They are not going to hire you looking at your resume, right? Then you could have written the whole thing. They are going to hire you after meeting you. And this becomes only a mode for them to look at you and call you for an interview. Correct? Crisp, short, bullets, 6-7 sentences. When you start, this mostly applies for people who have worked for a lot of years. Right? So I have worked for 15. So my experience starts with my current last job. Then it goes to the previous job. Then it goes to the previous job. It always starts the other way. So people who are applying a job for the first time, not applicable. But if once you start working for 5-10 years, you have to mention all the organizations that you are part of. And that goes reverse. That goes ulta. So you mention the latest, then after that, and then after that. Next, my friend. Use of keywords, especially if you know that you are going for a customer service interview. Use customer service as a keyword in your resume somewhere. If you are going for some other role, if you're going for an accounting job, right, then you should mention about what your accounting skills are in your resume. Right? If you are open to both kind of jobs, you are open for a customer service also, and you are open for accounting also. Have 2 resumes. One which talks more on accounting. So if there is an accounting requirement, you send resume A. If there is a customer service requirement, you send a resume B. Possible. I used to have 3-4, depending on what companies you're applying for. Right? If it's telecom, I would have a different resume. I would highlight my telecom skills more. Finance, different. Right? Next. Like I said, please know every detail. So if you have mentioned anything on your resume, you should know what you have mentioned. Yes, correct? Right? And a lot of people spend a lot of time writing an objective. You would have seen, right? Objective. Seen any resumes ever in your life? A lot of people write an objective. No, my objective is to work in an esteemed organization, X, Y, Z, A, O. Don't waste that space. Write something else there because nobody reads. Doesn't matter. The fact that you are applying for a job means that you want to obviously work in a good organization. That's it. Nobody has got hired looking at the objective. And objective wastes space. Might as well write a summary about your skills there rather than an objective. Doesn't matter. Has anybody written an objective saying, I am very lazy and that's why I want to work in an organization? Will that ever happen? It will never happen, right? Objective would be very flowery language saying that I am looking for a job. It's okay. Don't waste your space. Put something more interesting there because at the end of the day, it's an ad. Yeah? Okay. Then there is a old model wherein we use a lot of, we actually just put references upon request. Not anymore. If they want references, they will ask you. You don't have to specifically mention. Right? So if you don't put this, doesn't mean that you will not give references if you request, right? So we don't use that anymore. No need to put references. They will ask you, you give. Right? आप ये नहीं बोलोगे ना मैंने नहीं लिखा है तो मैं नहीं दूंगा ऐसा नहीं होगा right? को देना पड़ेगा. You have to give. So that's considered very normal. You don't have to specifically mention that. Any questions you have on resume before we move? Anything on CV? Any questions that you have or you have encountered certain problems while? No? Sure? By the way, I do free workshops on resume building. Free. It's actually free. Absolutely free. So I will send you, I'll figure out a way how I can keep in touch with you guys. Anybody wants to come, they have to obviously come to my institute. I do free workshops. It's almost till the time I get a good resume done from you, I sit with you and I make one, and you don't have to pay anything for me. So next time something like this happens, if anybody has issues, they can always come to me. I'll help them. It's a good 3-4 hour session that we spend on.